HHS, and we're happy to be here on this in-between day, this committee work day. So with that, we're running a little bit late because of the previous committee that was took just a little bit long, and we've had some substitutions, and I think everybody has that. Let's start it off. If Chairman Goodman, if you don't mind, to open us up in prayer.
Be honored to, Mr. Chairman. Y'all pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for today, Lord. We thank you for loving us. We thank you for the gift of salvation. We thank you for the awesome opportunity to come here together, Lord, and work on the people's business. And as we go about it, Lord, we just ask that you grant us wisdom and discernment so that we may make the best decisions on behalf of the 11 million Georgians that we represent, Lord. And we thank you so much for your many blessings that you bestow upon us each and every day, Lord. And with things going on around the world geopolitically, Lord, we just ask that you please have your hand in those situations, Lord. And we thank you for all of our doctors and nurses and everyone in our healthcare industry, Lord, that keep us healthy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We're going to change the schedule around a little bit. We're doing Senate Resolution 567. We're going to do that last. And I'll let Senator Hodges and Senator Kirkpatrick decide who wants to go first. He is...
No.
So we're going to do Senator Kirkpatrick, Vice Chair of Health and Chair of Children's and Families. She's doing SB 535. We're making some changes in the community service boards, and let me make sure we're all correct on the substitute. LC 339879S. Okay. And
I brought a friend along. Most of you probably know.
Former House member Kevin Tanner, now DBHDD. How long have you been there?
A little over 3 years, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Thank you.
Good for you and good for us. And the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. This is an agency bill for DBHDD. And I think everybody on the committee already knows this, but our CSBs are our safety net mental health providers around the state. There's 22 of them. And when I got here in 2017, because I came in a special election, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I went and met with all the agency heads. And one of the things that became apparent right away was the inconsistency in the CSBs around the state and how they operated and how effective they were or not. And so this bill is an effort to really put a more consistent framework in place for how the CSBs operate around the state to give some additional oversight from DBHDD and to just help them function more effectively. So I'm going to just briefly tell you what the sections do, and then Commissioner Tanner will be happy to answer any questions that I don't know the answers to. So on Section 1, this basically just changes some definitions about the definition of community service board and service area. Section 2 is also definitions about mental health and developmental disabilities and addictive diseases. And then Section 3 changes the structure of the provisions about governing board membership, executive director, eligibility, appointments, and term limits. And it establishes bylaws requirements effective July 1st of this year. Section 4 revises the same code section to specify the roles and responsibilities of the executive director, who will be appointed by the commissioner starting July 1st, 2026. And then Section 5 allows the community service boards to reconstitute or convert their structure into nonprofits, units of county government, or components of hospital authorities with certain conditions. Section 6 outlines procedures for the cessation of operations by a community service board. Section 7 defines venue for legal actions against community service boards as the county where the principal office is located. And Section 8 authorizes community service boards to operate meetings by teleconference under certain conditions. So basically, this is more oversight from DBHDD, consistency in the bylaws, and the sort of how the board and the CEOs operate. So with that, I'm going to
Questions?
stop and take any questions.
Yeah, questions from the committee? No questions? Okay. You are on one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Chair, can you walk me through on 37 through 42? We're striking through Community Service Board and Community Service Board area. What exactly are we doing there?
I'm going to phone my friend here.
Just confirming, you said line 37, starting at line 37.
I think what we did was we moved that up to
42, I
Section
guess-
1.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Senator Brass, I think we moved
See.
it up to Section 1.
That's correct.
Okay.
But we're not
lines
changing the definitions,
24.
we're just relocating them?
That's correct in that
Okay.
section.
All right, because I was looking after and didn't see anything, so it was before. Okay,
Good
I'm good,
question.
thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? All right, and I'll be happy to entertain a motion. Okay. We're due passing LC 3398-79S. Can I have a second? Second, Senator Goodman. All those in favor, raise your hand. Looks like it is unanimous. And thank you, Commissioner. Didn't have to say much at all, but we appreciate that.
I knew when I was sitting next to this lady I would.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so that brings up Senator Hodges, I think. So you were second, but I tell you what, that was a quick second. All righty, the floor is yours. So we are Senate Bill 500, Senator Hodges. We've actually seen this.
Yes.
And Mr. Basine is here with you.
He
We
is.
hope he does as good a job as Commissioner Tanner.
Good to see you again, Mr. Chair.
All
As
righty.
quick a job as the commissioner. You're right. You're right, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. You have seen this bill before. This SB 500. We passed it in the Senate last year, 49-1. As Senate Bill 131, it went to the House, and the House gutted it and put something in it to set up a review board for parity spending, which we did not look at the last day. So we decided to just start over with this. It's an agency bill. SB 500, by the way, LC is 520964. It is for the Georgia Board of Healthcare Workforce. This is Chet Basine, who's the executive director. This bill, as we did last year, this bill helps in their mission to make sure that Georgia has the appropriate number of healthcare providers wherever in the state that they're needed. The bill enhances a database, an existing database of healthcare providers across the state by adding 9 licensing agencies to 5 existing to get a total of 14 licensing agencies that will report data on their licensees to the board, so the board can accurately collect, analyze data to measure the state's adequacy of its healthcare professionals. Bill does a couple of things. It allows the board to enter into agreements with those licensing entities to create, house, and provide information for the governor, the General Assembly, state agencies, and the public regarding our healthcare workforce. The board the bill allows the board to seek federal or other funding sources to do this. The bill allows the board to create and maintain a dashboard on their website to provide information on the workforce to the public. And then the bill establishes a minimum data set survey to be utilized to collect data on healthcare providers, not to include any personal information. just other information. And then the bill includes to that data set the type of insurance accepted by the provider and whether or not they accept Medicare and Medicaid. Basically, all this information collected will be used by the Healthcare Workforce Board to for planning and managing our healthcare workforce and for information purposes for the public.
Thank you. Just to be clear, no names or personal
No
information.
names, no personal information.
So this is,
Is that
we're
anything
going
there?
for numbers here. I don't know, do we get ages too? Probably do get ages, don't we?
You get ages.
Ages, because if
But without a
all
name.
the dentists in the state of Georgia are 80 years old, then we know we got a problem. Gotcha. All right, questions from the committee? Number 5.
Where does this state that you're keeping up with their 80 years old? I mean, where, I'm looking at line 30 through 38.
All right.
I mean, where,
These
how
are-
are you getting where's the gut of this bill?
Senator, that's a good question. These are the changes to existing legislation. There was a sub prepared which included the existing legislation. Didn't change the bill, but it included, and but I didn't get it back in time to get it into your staff. I've got it here. It's got the existing legislation in it. You want to know
I
what?
can follow up with you. I'm not going to get
Okay.
into
I mean, I've
weeds
got-
on it, but I am interested in that.
Okay, all right. But I've got that here, so.
Any other questions? No, we're on the original bill. That's what we're
We're
on,
on the original bill.
which is LC 520964.
That's right.
If not, I'd be happy to entertain a motion. Senator Goodman,
Mr. Chairman, if our two doctors on this committee who are experts in their field are good with this bill, then I'd like to make a motion to pass.
all righty, so we have a motion to pass LC 520964. To have a second? Second, and do we, all those in, any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. All right, looks like we're all 100% unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, this is going much more
He-
smoothly than I
He
thought,
was
so.
shorter than Commissioner
Alrighty.
Taylor.
I'm afraid to, so, I don't know, I see Senator Still, we could go ahead and do a resolution now if you need a couple minutes. All right, well, he asked us to go ahead and do the resolution. I hope Chairman Kirkpatrick's okay with moving that up to the SR 567. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. And I think we have a couple people that want to testify, and just out of courtesy to everyone,
I'm going to do that from here.
anywhere you would like, absolutely.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a resolution, and it has to do with an unusual medical disorder called Prader-Willi syndrome, and it creates a Prader-Willi syndrome awareness day, which is fully intended to raise awareness of the disease. One thing that we've seen recently in rules is that we need to change this to a day at the Capitol rather than a state day, so we'll need an amendment for that part. But with that, I will let the people who are impacted by this disease speak to it and educate you all. Lisa?
Yes, ma'am. If I may, some handouts.
Yeah,
Certainly.
you can bring it up
Yeah,
here.
just, Paris, would you mind grabbing that, please, sir? We'll distribute it. We'll
They'll
get
grab it.
distributed.
We'll hand it out.
We'll hand
And
it
then
out.
if you go to the podium mic right there
And,
and introduce yourself, please.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to speak before you all today. My name is Lisa Mattisvac, and I'm the mother of a young adult with Prader-Willi syndrome. I'm also the president of the Georgia Association for Prader-Willi Syndrome and a researcher for the Foundation for Prader-Willi Research. These roles have provided me with an in-depth understanding of the devastating and life-threatening challenges posed by this condition, particularly the relentless food-seeking behaviors that define it. Every moment of a person's life with PWS revolves around food security and the need to prevent catastrophic outcomes. Many of you may not be familiar with Prader-Willi syndrome, or also called PWS. It is a rare brain-based genetic disorder due to missing genetic information at birth. As you may recall from biology, genes direct growth, development, and health, and in PWS, the missing genetic material disrupts brain function, particularly the hypothalamus, leading to a predictable and lifelong pattern of medical and behavioral challenges. PWS is both a neurodevelopmental disorder and a medically fragile condition that requires coordinated care from infancy through adulthood. In infancy, failure to thrive, low muscle tone, and feeding difficulties are prevalent, often requiring tubes in the nose or surgically placed in the abdomen to receive nutrition. However, this changes as the child ages, and the hallmark feature of hyperphagia emerges. Hyperphagia is an unrelenting and life-threatening drive to eat. The biological compulsion results in individuals feeling as though they are starving no matter how much they have eaten. Strict supervision, locking up of refrigerators, food pantries, and monitoring with cameras because of this insatiable hunger is critical to prevent harm or even death. For individuals with PWS, food, which is a basic human necessity, becomes the greatest threat to their lives. Individuals with PWS also face a myriad of medical issues ranging from scoliosis, psychiatric and behavioral challenges, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, sleep apnea, thyroid issues, skin picking, and many, many more. PWS is a lifelong condition with evolving complex medical needs, and outcomes depend heavily on consistent access to specialized coordinated care across disciplines, including endocrinology, behavioral health, nutrition, sleep medicine, and social services. When care is fragmented or unavailable, there are higher rates of emergency interventions, hospitalizations, and institutional placements. I'd like to share a little bit about my own personal experiences with caring for someone with PWS. Like every person with PWS, my son's lived experience is unique. He is a person who graduated from high school with honors. He earned a Hope Scholarship and attends college, but not in the way that you might imagine. He does this remotely from the safety of our home, where every bit of food is under lock and camera. It is unsafe for my adult son to have a cell phone, as he requires, to have a cell phone, and he requires a computer with parental controls. And he is not afforded the freedom to visit unapproved websites, make purchases, or send messages, because those are opportunities that invite danger in a world where food can be ordered online and delivered to your home. We know the danger of this firsthand when hundreds of dollars of food arrived at our door purchased online with a stolen credit card. Intellectually, he knows this is wrong. Emotionally, he knows he shouldn't do it, but biologically, he is driven beyond his control and he cannot stop. Academic success and intellectual abilities will never override these hardwired biological signals which place him in constant jeopardy. As parents, we are exhausted from the intensity of caregiving and advocating. For almost 20 years, we have remained hyper-vigilant around food. We avoid family gatherings and social outings because food isn't secure. School was never safe. We live in isolation with no respite. My son has limited social opportunities, and that is only with direct parental oversight. We have struggled to maintain Medicaid coverage, facing policy termination multiple times, most recently due to clerical errors, resulting in a loss of critical care and access to medications. PWS families are in desperate need of services in Georgia to ensure the best quality of life, but the system is flawed. Due to the unique and complex nature of PWS, under the typical eligibility guidelines for disability services and waivers in Georgia, a person with PWS may not qualify. Safety around food is of utmost priority regardless of IQ, which is often a strict guideline for defining a disability. My son is a prime example of a person who on paper appears to have the cognitive capacity to earn an income and care for himself, yet if left unsupervised, he will eat foods to which he is allergic and die from anaphylactic shock. The hunger drive will always take control, and he will never be safe without supports. Meaningful change for our PWS families would involve qualifying for services based on a diagnosis of PWS. Some examples of other change that would be impactful are allowing providers and group homes to secure and lock food in kitchens for safety, providing access to respite so our son can go into the community, and ensuring families don't lose access to critical services like Katie Beckett waivers when mistakes occur. Have a defined system in place to resolve those issues. In the span of a day, where the scant few hours of sleep we get is often our only respite, the time it takes
Ms.
for a special
Matuszak,
needs parent to advocate for basic services.
Ms. Matuszak, hey, right here.
Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, we wrapping this up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. because we have someone else want to speak and we have another bill to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Overall, I just want to give you an overview of the syndrome and understand how difficult it is for our families and convey to you the importance of some supports that we could benefit from as individuals and families living with PWS.
We certainly concur with that, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Kelly Gillian?
She's not here today. My son Cooper is speaking, and then I am as well. Is it okay? He's going to have trouble with the podium.
Sure.
Away from
Or
the-
he was going to speak,
Yes.
so why don't we come down here, because I don't think we have anything to elevate him, and we'd rather have him right there in front of that mic right there. Or do you want to sit by him, or are you okay?
I can. I've got a little bit to say after that.
Okay. All right, just tell us who you are, big man.
Hi, my name is Cooper. I'm 8 years old, and my brother has Prader-Willi. I'm going to be telling you guys about, like, what it's like. Like, one thing I like about him is that he's always happy no matter what. Like, if I said, okay, Juju, it's time to take a bath, he's like, yay. If I say, okay, Juju, it's time to take a shower, which most kids actually don't like, he would say, yay. Like, basically anything he wants, anything that we do, he's happy about it. One thing that is hard is that he only listens to certain songs, like Blippi, which is actually driving me crazy all the time. And he only plays with certain toys, which isn't as bad. My hope for him is that he can overcome the disadvantages of having Prader-Willi. I hope Juju gets all the services he needs, medications, and support that he needs.
Cooper, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming down here in support of your brother. I know he appreciates that, and I know everybody here on the committee does too. Does anybody have any questions for Cooper? We do not, but so you stay right there, and we're going to recognize your mom. Okay. All right, you have the floor.
So my name is Jessica McCabe, and I have a 6-year-old Julius.
Might need to get a little bit more closer to that. That'd be great. There we go.
My name is Jessica McCabe, and my sweet 6-year-old son Julius has Prader-Willi. I'm here to speak about early intervention and the need for Katie Beckett services. Katie Beckett services are crucial for young children diagnosed with Prader-Willi. We're specifically requesting that Prader-Willi is an automatic qualifier for Katie Beckett because insurance coverage allows our children to receive early intervention therapy and medication services in the first year, which alter the trajectory of our kids' future. We know that early intervention in the first year of life takes advantage of the brain's high plasticity period to build neural connections, and improves language, motor, and cognitive skills. During Julius's first year of life, along with most other children who have Prader-Willi, in fact, almost universally, he had 8 medical specialists, 5 therapy services a week, and underwent 3 surgeries. He had an NG tube for nutrition and oxygen supplementation. We estimate that his medication or his medical costs without insurance would have been in the millions. Despite his extensive medical needs, and my knowledge of the medical system as a physician, he was denied for Katie Beckett twice. We actually had to hire a private advocate for $1,500 and put the money up front so that we could get it approved. There are many families who do not have this option, and given the fact that this syndrome presents with severe medical issues in the first year, we feel the diagnosis should be enough to automatically qualify and help our families out. I can confidently say that early intervention is going to change Julius's future, and our hope is to improve the lives of the next generation of children who are impacted by this syndrome.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Any questions?
I thought I heard the previous speaker say that they had Medicaid, but I see on the handout that Georgia is not a Medicaid expansion state, which means some adults are not covered with this complex condition. I mean, so you can qualify, it's just that not everyone qualifies. Or how does that work to get qualification?
It's very difficult.
If it's not expanded, if we're not Medicaid expanded.
It's very difficult to get Medicaid services, despite, I mean, a lot of families, in order to qualify for Katie Beckett, you have to have documented 5 therapy services a week. If you have parents who are both trying to work 5 therapies a week, in addition to extensive medical needs, in addition to a babies can't wait evaluation that diagnoses them as moderate to severe in all categories. Because my son was taking a little bit of bottled milk, not much, most of it was NG tube fed, he was listed as mild in the domain of oral motor abnormalities, and so for that reason he was denied, even though we know that the syndrome in the first year is very severe, and most of our children are failure to thrive and require extensive medical services to even make it through the first year.
Thank you. Any other questions? Senator Warren?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just briefly, did I understand you to say you're a physician?
I am.
And what's your area of practice?
I'm a physiatrist, physical medicine and rehabilitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all we had to sign up.
We have one more. We actually have somebody with Prader-Willi here. to
Okay,
speak.
all
You
right.
ready? Okay.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you, both senators, chairs. Good afternoon, senators. I am Sean Andrea Cooper, and I have Prader-Willi syndrome. When I was first diagnosed with PWS at the age 12, life expectancy was in the early 20s. I am 52 years old and have a comp medical waiver. I live in an apartment in Roswell, Georgia with 2 roommates, and we have support staff through our provider and community. I am on the National Prader-Willi Syndrome PWS Adult Advisory Board. We would like for people in the city where we are living, there are some challenges and some good things also. I have challenges with insulin resistance, bone density, and a new medication from Soleno is to help persons with PWS control the hunger. Thank you, Soleno. I have good doctors at Emory Centers and University of Florida, and I am now on a 900-calorie diet prescribed by where is she at? But international PWS specialist, Dr. Jennifer Miller. I have good support staff, parents, and family members who love me so much. They give me healthy meals, and I have eyes on me at all times, especially when I'm in the kitchen area. Over the time, my weight dropped from 189 to 112 pounds. Living with PWS is hard, but with good support staff, we can overcome our challenges, and we can live. Some people with PWS do not have the Katie Beckett or medical waiver. So if we can, please, unlike the medical waiver, that would help them out to thrive and live. We need that. Thank you for this opportunity, give me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Any questions at all? Thank you. We really appreciate you being here. So now I'm looking for a motion for, make a motion to pass, seconded. And we have an amendment. Chairman Hufstetler.
If I heard Chairman Kirkpatrick right, after day on the line 1, she wanted to put at the Capitol and take out state in that same line.
And then on the next page, I think is the same thing.
Right. 27 at the end, say at the Capitol, and take out state on line 27.
Okay. And our legislative counsel is nodding her head because she actually did the amendment. So any questions on that? So I got a motion, have a second, and any discussion further? Excuse me. So all those in favor of the amendment, raise your hand. Okay. Everybody's raised their hand, so that's unanimous. And then a motion of do pass as amended. That is already, no, we're going to Senator Orrock.
We got that. We got that. We
But it wasn't as amended, though.
Yeah.
So that's,
End of vote.
so moved, seconded, discussion. Any discussion? All right. Ready to vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. All right, again, that's unanimous. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. It passes. Okay. All righty, so we are on the last bill, and that is 439. Senator Still, we've had a hearing on this already. We sent them off, and I reviewed the changes last week, and we have the changes here. We've already had testimony, and what we'll do is, Senator Still, if you would present the bill, just to give us a little quick overview, and then if we can go on the changes, and then if we have any questions, or we'll see if we need to have any testimony from that standpoint. Okay?
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Witness 2. Hey, everybody. We are back. Senate Bill 439. We are working off a committee sub LC 443482S. What I believe was a well-intentioned bill got a little hair on it along the way, and it took us on a bit of an odyssey of learning more about the referral process to assisted living, independent living, Alzheimer unit, any sort of private pay personal care home. And what we came to realize is that the folks on the facility side largely rely on referral agencies who are marketing companies, and then they promote their services to the public who might be looking for a place to send a loved one. And the issue became, as we heard in testimony, that some of the facilities may get the same referral multiple times, or that someone may have just fallen off their radar and then ends up signing up to stay in that facility, and then many months or even years down the road, that initial referral agency is trying to get a fee for said placement. This is all a contract. And as the chairman and I have discussed, this is one of those rare industries where the state has to regulate it, even though it's self-pay, it's a conscious decision to sign up with a referral agency. And then everyone has to figure out what are they agreeing to, for how long are the terms. And so this bill has to use Georgia law to determine what private industries have to decide is best for their relationship between who's doing the marketing, who's making the referral, for how long is that referral active, to how many places can they make the referral, and then on the facility side, if that loved one, the referred person, what do they owe to the referral agency for said purpose. And so the two major hangups that we had based on the testimony that we had was on the length of time of the referral and the notification. So the folks from the Senior Living Association wanted to reduce it from 36 months from the time of first contact to placement. They wanted to reduce that to 12. This bill reduces it to 24. The other question came up about notification. They wanted the person being referred to know that a fee was being paid for said placement. So rather than it just being between referral agency and facility, they want to make sure that the patient or that the family of the patient is aware that they're being referred in. And so this amended bill before you speaks to that. Much of the language is the same, but until you jump to line 58, where it says the referral agency shall obtain from a prospective resident or his or her authorized representative a documented written, electronic, or verbal acknowledgement, and then it has to be retained by the referral agency. It doesn't create a contractual relationship between the agency and the resident, just between the assisted living community or the personal care home. Then on the last page, page 4 of the bill, starting on line 76, changed it from 36 months down to 24 months, but it's really split as a 12 and 12. So it's saying after the initial 12 months, if they haven't relocated, then they have to resubmit another referral for that same initial one. So it's a 12 plus 12, not a straight 24. The folks on the referral agency side would prefer it to just be a straight 24. The folks on the assisted living side prefer the 12-12. And those were the two major issues that were not allowing us to move forward. Last time I presented this bill, this is the final version that we've come up with. There is still some consternation among some folks on the referral agency side with this because it doesn't address 100% of their concerns, but it certainly has created a degree of compromise far less than what our original version of the bill had. And as I'm seeing this substitute for the first time today, as you are seeing this, this is our dear friends in Legislative Council working frantically to try to meet everyone's questions and concerns, but this is the latest version that we have to work on, and happy to answer any questions.
Let me just give a little background here too, let us refresh our memory. Remember skilled nursing facilities? Those do receive government funds, and that is subject to anti-kickback, and that is entirely illegal. Remember the Stark, Pete Stark, California Democrat, during a Democratic administration says you can't do kickbacks to skilled nursing facilities. They did not cover assisted living. I would wonder what would happen now if Pete Stark were still there. I suspect he'd probably do it. I went over personally with the 5 points that they were concerned about and made sure they were all in there. I think the assisted living facility would be happy with 12. They were happy with, what was it, 36? 36. So I think this is pretty good compromise from that standpoint. And I did go through all 5 of those issues with them. All 5 of those things are in here, and except there was a little compromise there with the 12 plus 12 versus 36 versus 12. I will tell you, the industry that has come down from New York and does the franchises, they don't want anything. But I don't think it's fair to the family or the patient to not know that they're doing a referral, and they may or may not have a contract with that one in there. So all of that is not entirely clear in this acknowledgement, but it does give a little bit of acknowledgement. So I'll open it up for questions. Huffstetler.
I guess.
Sure.
I'm looking at line 66, and it says referral agencies may charge or collect a fee from assisted living, community, or personal care home only after the resident relocates. And then when I go to the next page, E, it says referral agencies shall not charge or collect a fee from assisted living or personal care home. And I guess it's all these conditions past it
They
is
have to
is
meet the
what you're
conditions,
saying.
right.
Those are the conditions, that's right.
Okay, so I just want to make sure
Right.
I'm following that.
Okay. Senator Hodges.
If the assisted living facility
You don't get
is-
that mic a little bit closer, if you
Sorry,
don't mind.
excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If the assisted living facility is using a marketing entity, a marketing company to help bring residents into the facility, and they're paying a fee for it, does the liability for the fee go away after 2 years? In other words, if the home doesn't pay the fee, If I've referred somebody to them and they just don't pay me for 2 years, is that it? Does their liability end at 2 years? I don't have a cause of action, so what's the
There's
answer
a
to that?
written contract between the referral agency and the facilities. They enter into a business relationship. So if they've agreed to make payment within that 24-month period and they've made the referral, they've moved in within that 24 months, but they don't pay, then they're going to end up in court.
So the marketing company does have a cause of action.
Yeah, but
It
that's
would-
between their contract
Right.
and them.
No,
We're not
private
going to
contract.
legislate.
Yeah, I just noticed in there no cause of action, but that's the
That'll be their contract.
residents.
That's right.
I got you. All right,
Sen-
thanks.
Senator Goodman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a quick question. I have a friend that's in the assisted living business, and he told me that has had a case in the past where for the same patient, he's paid 3 different placement fees. If you think about it, like the real estate industry, you know, my mom was in the real estate industry for a long time. They call it co-broken, where it's split versus. I'm just curious, is there anything in your legislation to adjust that where the people aren't,
Right.
one of these folks aren't paying 3 people for the same person, basically?
Lines 58 through 60 do attempt to address that. So if there's a prospective resident, then the line 61, so jumping from 58 to 61, the referral agency obtains from a prospective resident their authorized representative either a written electronic or a verbal acknowledgement of receipt, and it'll be retained by the referral agency. So it's kind of whoever the first one in was who made that, they track that. So in the case of your friend, if Mrs. Goodman was referred by 3 different, if you contacted on behalf of your mom 3 different agencies, the first one to contact the personal care home, there would be a recorded receipt of that first referral. So any subsequent attempts to make that referral would just be, they'd be notified, say, well, we're already we've already received the referral by this company.
Okay. Any other questions? Senator Merritt, 12?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I have a couple of issues with this bill. The one, it was still never answered for us how many customers at the end are being harmed by what's happening. I have not seen an overwhelming, I don't have any verification that the customer is being harmed. That's my first question. But on the other side, I do think that these referral agencies, and I think we took out, why did we take out the DCH web portal checkoff? Like they had to go to DCH to kind of refer, because where I'm getting to, I do think these referral agencies should be held accountable for who they're referring to, meaning they should be checking whatever senior home it is, and make sure they're legit, make sure they have a license, to make sure they have good service. And I think that is something these referral agents should be checking, and we should require that. So I don't know if that's in the bill. Did we take it out? I think we took it out. That part I don't like that we took out.
I think what we took out was the responsibility of the, did you say?
I think it was the DCH web portal, like the referral agencies would have to go on there to refer, to go look
Seth,
to
can you
see.
answer that?
Yeah,
Seth?
because I think, Seth, you actually brought that to my attention, so why did we take that out?
All right,
Yes.
Identify yourself and who you represent.
Sure. I'm Seth Daniels. I'm with the Georgia Senior Living Association. We represent assisted living, personal care homes, and independent living. Senator, you are correct. In the original LC version of the bill, we had that. In the course of negotiation, that was one of the things that was asked from the other side to be taken out. At least some parties on the other side. There are multiple people. I would, to that point, I'd point out to the members of the committee, in your packets, I believe, is a copy of the letter from the National Placement Referral Alliance that lays out the 5 or 6 points that Chairman Watson referenced. And you'll see on the last page, that was one of the things. We agreed to take that out if it would get us to a deal. The senator still said there's still some opposition to the bill just because of the underlying, they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't think this is a perfect bill, but we're going to continue to move it along and change it if we need to in the future. Any other questions, Senator Chairman Brass?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, I'm going to kind of refer to, you had brought up the Star Claw, the anti-kickback. So based on what I'm reading, the only part of the bill that's addressing anti-kickback is lines 45 through 48. Am I correct on that? Is there any other part of this bill dealing with anti-kickback?
Well, there's
Is there something I'm missing?
it's not illegal to get this kickback.
Hmm?
We're not making it illegal to get the kickback.
Well, I don't first off, I don't consider a reference of
All right,
a
reference
referral
fee
of-
or
of
broker's
kickback,
fee,
but
reference fee or broker's fee.
But
It's
I
not
would
illegal.
think it would be a little bit of a conflict if you're referring to something you own. If you're selling yourself as a referral
this-
company, and then, so
Right.
I understand lines 45 through 48.
Okay.
I guess my first question is, well, actually, I guess this would be my second question, is why all right, Stark Law was a federal law, am I correct? All right. And do we know why they left off assisted living communities?
Because that's a cash business.
Private pay versus federal dollars.
Okay.
This is strictly for private.
Okay. So okay. So, well, outside of any kickback, the rest of the bill, we're really just dealing with the contract itself. Is that accurate?
Effectively, right. It's just saying that the referral agency can't collect a fee from the patient. They're only collecting it from the facility to which they're being placed.
Well, they're doing that now.
And this is acknowledgement, basically.
Yeah.
Just buyer beware, consumer beware. Acknowledgement,
Okay.
not a contract.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, you're not helping.
All right, let's get Senator Mangum, then we'll come back to you.
Thank you for bringing this bill, Senator. At what point does the user of this service, the resident, get to know that there is such an arrangement? When? And can that make a difference in their, do they have a real choice?
So there's always a choice. You pull up the line on that. So while he's looking at the exact line number, I'll answer the question. The choice is personal care homes can choose not to use referral agencies. They could hire their own marketing person. They could go find their own patients. They could absolutely go do that entirely on their own. There is a cost associated with that, and that's a business decision that they have to make. That's what created rise to these referral agencies that some of them are very, very large, national companies that do these referrals. So they have these huge marketing machines that collect data. They mine that information, they get the patient's information, and then they refer it out to the facilities with whom they have a contractual relationship, and typically charge about 1 month's rent stay at that facility. And in the major assisted livings in the Metro Atlanta area, that could be anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a month. So that's their fee, is usually 1 month.
So it is upfront.
Correct.
They're acknowledging that. I think that was his question.
Right,
What was the-
so
Okay.
the resident knows,
No later than the
as they move in, they know that that fee is being paid.
Line 40.
Line 40.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any, Senator Merritt, you still, actually, you've had a question. I'm gonna come back to you. Senator Hatchett. Tim, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two questions. The DCH language, you said that was the other side. Who is the other side exactly?
The referral agencies didn't want the responsibility of having to continually cross-check with.
Well, they're not all on board
Not
with
all,
everything.
some.
Some are in agreement, some are not in agreement.
No, I'm just
But
trying to
this
get the parties here. So it's the referral agencies and the,
Yeah, the referral agency.
okay. And then the other side would be the assisted living facilities? Those are the two parties at the table?
That's-
They're contracting, yes.
Okay. The DCH stuff, The only concern I have is if a referral agency knows of bad actors in the industry, but they may give the best referral fees. Is there any mechanism in this bill that they would have to disclose knowledge that they have about a certain facility that may not be safe, suitable, anything like that? Would that, the DCH language that was in there, would that have protected potential residents? And was that taken out?
Let me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, DCH does inspect these facilities, and that is on their website.
It is.
Yeah, that's not changed.
That can still be done. It's just
And I
not
would
in the
presume
bill.
that the referral agency would be doing that themselves.
But they don't have to in this bill.
Contractually, they can do that on their own.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not gonna slow it down, but, okay, the second part is the Attorney General, this bill doesn't have a lot of teeth. Public enforcement by the Attorney General, what does that look like?
He's got, I mean, we're gonna lose members. I mean, that's, he's got finance at 3. He's chair of finance.
This would,
We still got 3 minutes.
Got 3 minutes?
He left early. Where's he going?
He's got 1 minute according to mine, but go ahead.
this would go under the Consumer Protection Bureau within the Attorney General's office that enforces the Fair Business Practice Act.
And Senator Merritt.
Yes. I just wanted to clarify the disclosure part. Did we change, is it like a signature now, or is it a checkbox? What do we do?
That
Make a
is one
motion.
of the changes that we made. It's not the first version of the bill that we heard 2 weeks ago said signed and dated. This version now just says an acknowledgement. It can be written, electronic, or verbal.
That's on line 59.
Got it. And just back to your point about, this is an industry fight to me. You have the smaller companies that don't want to pay the referral companies, got it. Or the smaller senior living places or whatever, those that don't want to go with the referral agencies. And they're scared that, or their issue is going with a referral agency or not going with a referral agency gives the upper hand to those that choose to do so. And yes, maybe it's a marketing thing that the smaller ones that don't want to go with a referral agency, maybe they need to market more, or maybe, I don't know, that is something, that's a whole nother issue, so I'm not disagreeing with that. But this is a complicated situation. We have two sides here that feel very strongly about what they think, but, yeah, that's all I want to say, and I just wanted to get clear
I mean, not a
about
question.
the
All right.
disclosure. Not really a
Any
question.
other questions? Senator Allrock, are you making a motion?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm questioning, what does this language mean in the real world about the requiring, this thing about requiring now I've lost the language, but it says that requiring a documented, where is that thing?
58.
Yeah, 58. What is a documented, written, electronic, or verbal acknowledgement? What is a how do you document a verbal acknowledgement? What is that?
Write it down like in a medical chart.
Yeah, it's the same I do every day, baby. All right. In
Well,
a
I'm sorry.
chart. I do that every day, verbal
Nurses
acknowledgements.
do that all the time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Verbal order per so-and-so.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a quick question. These folks that are paying this referral fee, is there any guarantee that that patient is going to stay there for any length of time, or is?
No,
or
they
is
could
not?
leave after a month.
Okay.
All right. Senator Hodges?
Mr. Chairman, I'd
348 2S. I have a second. Second, Senator Goodman. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those against? 8 to 1. Motion passes, and I think that's it for today. And all right, so this is our last meeting for the year for taking up Senate bills. So we will stay tuned from that perspective. Last HHS for Senate, but we're going to continue to meet after, maybe not. We'll see. Thank you.